let's just talk a little bit about some of your signature dishes. Could you describe some of the dishes that you've evolved on the menu that you're particularly excited about? What would be a signature, you know, if maybe you could describe a signature meat dish and a signature vegetarian dish to me.
So,
your food is, you know, I found it's very colourful. Is that important to you? That really beautiful,
yeah,
eye-popping colours coming out from the different ingredients that you put together?
I think sometimes it's quite difficult to get the right amount of color, and sometimes you can go a bit of overboard. I think on the other hand, some places
And never be too colourful when we look with our eyes, and it's all about salivation before you actually eat a beautifully executed meal. It has to be a visual feast.
I think especially when you don't have a taster menu as such, you need to have, every meal needs to be, basically, it could be just the only meal. So someone could actually come in and just have a starter, and then decide that that's it. So it's not a journey as such. It is a journey in terms of the entire dining experience, but the meal isn't set. So I think it's quite important that we think about as much as we can in terms of presentation. So the colors, the composition of the food, having quite an interesting set of food. So having sort of acidity as well as, you know, your umami flavors, and as well as having sort of the savory balance there. So it is definitely important. And for me, it's important to have color on it, because I think it can be a bit more boring when it's very, you know, plain tones all along. But saying that, you know, there's nothing wrong with having a well-balanced dish that doesn't maybe have as many colors on it.
Certainly the pictures that I was sent of some of your signature dishes, the colours really leapt out. You know, vibrant greens and pinks. I mean, the food looked incredibly pretty on the plate.
In terms of a meat dish, we probably would have to say beef of any kind here is always fantastic, whether it comes with just hedgerow herbs, like hedgerow herbs made into like a chimichurri or like a salsa with some mushrooms. I mean, not foraged for myself, but bought from some incredible suppliers. And the vegetarian dishes, I mean, I particularly like the one that I sent, which was the beetroot with the
everybody liked that on Twitter. It's lots of comments about how beautiful that looked. I mean, also women love pink, I love pink. It looked utterly delicious.
I think we're treating vegetarian dishes a little bit like, not meat, but what would a meat eater like to eat if they didn't have meat, which, if that makes sense.